are live. What's up? What's up? What's up? This is the Lit Stream. We are Shades of Blue. I am Crunk Chocolate. I'm with my show bros, Tom Bomb, Tarek. How's it going?
Feeling good, man. Feeling real good. It's almost Friday, so looking forward to it. What's up with you, Tom?
Hey, shout out to the people who don't have to work tomorrow. Like
not me.
y'all.
I gotta go in. Well, for me tomorrow at least is relative. I gotta come down here and sit right here and do work. But, still, I gotta be in meetings and stuff. Go ahead, Tom.
Well, this week has been a little bit long, but like in a good way because I just got a new puppy. I was showing everybody on the stream where we started. My 12-week-old corgi puppy is real cute. And it's real cute.
Yeah,
so that has been basically.
Yeah, that's I mean, my dog, she's 13 now, so very old, but I had her since she was she was about 10 weeks old. So yeah, I definitely remember that grind of just all the attention. And there were multiple times like, crate training, and then I'd be like, okay, maybe she's good enough for me to like leave her out. And then I'd leave her out and come home and my entire place is just destroyed. And then I have to kennel her off for a little bit more and then would let her out. It took like 3 times. And it was all my fault. I had the empathy. I was like, oh, I don't want her to be out. Like, let her be free. And then I'd come home and everything's destroyed. And she's like, no, I love these things. Stuff till this day. I'm like, man, I wish I still had those. But you ruined, you little cutie. Come here.
Right, exactly.
But we have 3 amazing guests. Has Sylvs been on before? I feel like we've had her on something, but I'm not sure if it's the Lit Stream. So I'll just say we have 2 first-time guests on the Lit Stream.
Not the Lit Stream.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, it's so Saul, he's back for his monthly visit. Shout out to Bitter and Blue. Talk some city. And then we got Marge, first time. I'm super excited. Gotham, stand up. And then Sylvs, the Shay Sybs, very excited, super excited. I want to start here. I have been hearing from little Berties that Jurgen Klopp is becoming the leading person to potentially take over for Real Madrid. That would mean that Xabi Alonso, who has been long linked to Real Madrid, would suddenly not be free because he could just sign an extension at Bayern, but that does leave it open for him to take over next season when Pep finishes out his contract. I mean, I know he's a great manager. The idea of him is fantastic. Is that something we'd be here for? Like, or should I like not be getting my hopes up?
I wouldn't get my hopes up just because I don't know if the Klopp links are real. Maybe they are. I just feel like they just got to do anything to change the conversation from their collapse, or they didn't even show up in either leg of their matches. So I feel like Real's just trying to change the conversation. Stop us talking about their collapse. So,
I love it.
If it actually happens, great, because that leaves Xabi Alonso as a potential to come to us, and he can bring Wirtz with him, or he can, if Wirtz comes, maybe that's even better. Maybe Wirtz comes and we just know that, hey, next year Xabi's going to show up too, Xabi Alonso's going to show up too, and all is well. Martin says he's in the 26, 27.
2 seasons. Yeah, it's a 2-year extension. I don't believe he's going to stay for the 2 years. So I'm just throwing my ideas out there. What's up, George?
Big ups to Martin. I know they do a bunch of lives.
Yes, great. Yep.
Mancunian Way, great show, great channel. So big ups for checking us out. I left you a message too in your DMs. Check that out too.
Okay. Tom, what are your thoughts? That delay.
I say Tom might be
So,
technical difficulties.
Technical, yeah, man. Yeah.
But I mean, do you really think that
No.
Xabi Alonso?
No.
I mean, or do we think that?
No.
I guess Klopp. Do we? He's the key to the whole linchpin to this whole thing. Do we think Klopp really shows up to reality? Because it would change the conversation quite a bit.
Yeah, I do think I do think Klopp is over being at Leipzig between because first off, him going to Leipzig ruined all goodwill that he had earned being at Liverpool, doing the fun things that he has done. I just think he wants to go somewhere.
But why would that have cost him any goodwill? I mean, unless you're talking about what like people in Germany, like the people, you know, from his time at Dortmund or Mainz before that. I mean, otherwise, why would Liverpool fans care what he does in
it's more it is more like the German fan base and people who just also know who and what Leipzig represents. They kind like I know where oil money and whatever, but Leipzig represents big capitalism. Oh, I mean, I don't have to say it, but I am just saying what all.
Yeah, I get what German folks would think because just it goes against the was it 49+1 or 50+1 rule. But yeah, I don't think there's anything intrinsically wrong with Leipzig.
I'm gonna disagree with that. I think they kind of suck, but you know that's fair. Yeah, Tom, get in here.
Do you think all?
It's not. I don't think it's not necessarily Leipzig specific. It's the whole Red Bull
That's what I was gonna ask.
Worldwide project sort of thing, because like I think that we overlook. I think we overlook this because like we are part of, you know, we are the flagship of City Football Group, right? Like we know we have like clubs all over. Like in a way, like this is representing a brand of football that is quote unquote so antithetical to what Scousers believe in that they're not really able to like process like why he would go there, especially after he said like I'm done with football completely. Like I love you, Liverpool as a club. Thank you for this manner.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah, I you know, like I said, I think any Liverpool fans would be somewhat hypocritical to, you know, because again, if they were in our position, they would love to have multiple clubs. I think there was talk about it. So I think that's hypocritical. I just think that I get German fans who say our league has always had this rule and then this club came in and you know it's different, their makeup is different, their setup is different, but again Bayern Munich has, I think Audi as a sponsor, has, you know, all of these corporate,
but they hate
large corporate sponsors. But
they hate Bayern too, though.
I don't. Well, maybe I've never heard Bayern Munich get the hate that that Leipzig gets, and I understand you know the idea of Red Bull, whatever. But I think if you're gonna hate Red Bull Leipzig, you got to hate them all. Salzburg,
they do.
New York, everybody is the whole thing. Which again, as a City fan and being a part of CFG, it's kind of hard for me to say anything because hey, I can't really have that opinion, right?
But also, no, I shouldn't have the opinion, but I do. It's fine. Like, hey, I don't have to make sense. We are human beings.
It's the lit stream. You can be as hypocritical as you want.
Oh man! But let's bring our first guest on. Let's talk more general City content. Hey, our first guest always. Hey, yeah, you don't. And a buddy of mine, Dylan Meehan, when the Brilliant Blues. He hates the whole CFG idea of it. That is his take that we laugh about all the time. But Let's
enough.
bring on. So, what's up, my guy?
Gentlemen, what's up, guys? Good to be here. Fun as always. Love the lit stream. How we doing?
Appreciate you, man.
Yes,
Good. Glad to have you back
good,
on.
Real good, real good. Yeah, it's yeah. How are you feeling? How are things when it comes down to the team, the season? Oh, hold on one second. As a Real Madrid fan, I can confidently say Klopp is not coming to Madrid. He does fit the culture, and Perez likes to bring in managers that have some ties to the club. Okay. Cheers. Appreciate you, JT. We City have Everton this weekend. You would love to believe we can handle business against them. They haven't been the best as of late, but they make things difficult for everyone. Beating them will make us one step closer to a UCL spot. Newcastle's on fire. They're like the hottest team in the league at the moment. Yeah, just how are you? How are you feeling?
Yeah, listen, it's not been a great season. The Rodri blow definitely hurt us a lot. I do think they're gonna finish third. I do see a little bit of a swing upcoming this second half portion of the season. I do think De Bruyne's gonna actually show out this time. I think he knows this is it, especially with all the rumors linking him to MLS, which I think is where he's gonna go.
Oh,
So
man.
I think he's gonna go out on a high note. I do think we're gonna finish third. I think Newcastle will finish fourth. And then poor Nottingham, though. They've had a great season, but I do see City. I see Marmouche has been really good. Doku's been playing better. Even Grealish, who I know there's a lot of split opinions among the fan base with.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, so I do think that they're going to finish third. So I'm a little bit more upbeat than I was earlier in the season. Although the United loss was terrible earlier in the season, but it's all in the upswing now.
So I don't want to run over what you just said. You said Nottingham drops out. So give me your top 5 again.
So it'd be Pool, win the league, obviously.
Sure.
Arsenal, us, City, and Newcastle fourth. I think Nottingham and Chelsea are looking out.
Well, Chelsea will be out next because it's top 5.
Okay.
Chelsea finished fifth. Yeah.
So you think Chelsea? So Nottingham goes below Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, at this point of the season, depth is it's too
That's
big. Even though
humble.
City doesn't believe in depth, I do think they're close enough that I think we've seen this in other leagues, right? Girona a couple seasons ago.
I'm sorry, did you say that City does not believe in that?
What was that? I said what?
Go ahead, Tom.
Did you say that City does not believe in depth?
Right, yeah, true. Yes. They do not. We know Pep loves his small squads, but I think it hurts other clubs more than it does him. He knows how to rotate, comparatively. So I do think Nottingham drops out of Champions League spots.
Yeah, it's possible. Technically it's only 3 points between Nottingham and Chelsea in 6th, but Chelsea, if I look at their fixtures that are upcoming, they still have
some tough games.
Fulham, Everton, Pool, Newcastle, Man U, Nottingham Forest last day of the season. I find it hard to think, and again, this is your opinion, but I find it hard to think that Chelsea ends up anywhere in that top 5. I just can't see it.
Right. I do think this is part. I'm not a huge Nuno Espirito Santo fan. I do think Chelsea especially have more quality players. So I do think they're just going to slide out just a bit. But I do really like Newcastle's been playing lately. Yeah, they're a fun club. But I do think City's going to get third just by the edge of their nose or whatever the saying
Loyal
is.
sibling. I mean, and that's a good record against Moyes. The only problem is this season has been so tough, so rough. Like all the things that we should be able to expect, or at least hope, it doesn't necessarily go according to plan. I was actually going to go there next. Where does KDB go in the MLS? We have DC United, Chicago Fire, Inter Miami, and there's a fourth. I can't remember who it is. There's a fourth team club that is interested.
NYCFC.
NYCFC. How did I forget them? Yes. And
that's that CFG hatred you got going on. That's what that is. How can you leave out our cousins, our siblings, or whoever they are? It's family. They family.
You right.
Sister club.
Since
It's
it's
going to
not
be the
happening,
reverse
the Lulu.
Jack Harrison.
That's hilarious. That's hilarious.
There you go.
Because I was trying to make fun of Chicago Fire, and then shout out to my Chicago Fire insiders, and they were like, "Hey, I know you talk about Neymar not coming there, but he was actually terrifyingly close to actually signing with Chicago Fire, and they think that it is entirely doable for him to be at Chicago Fire." I just
Another meetup.
it's closer. Exactly. It's
Live
so much.
meetup.
It's so
Let's do
closer to me compared to Miami and DC and things like that. But I just don't want to see him in like Chicago. Summers are great, but that's it. Like for 3 months a year, that place is beautiful. Other than that,
It reminds him of Belgium. I think it fits him well. Plus, he's gonna get paid a ton of money. So
he's gonna
get paid a ton of money wherever he goes.
that's true. The Saudi one, the Saudi rumor that he's getting 50 was, which I don't think is real, but you know.
I'm just saying, look, I hope and pray that he goes to Chicago. It is what 3 hours from me.
3 hours,
I said I might even buy season tickets just so I can go to every game if I want to. Because I would love to be able to continue that. And they would give me a reason because I have no other reason to go to Chicago Fire games. It would be the only reason I go. Yeah, there you go.
That's fair. And then
The sun for 3 months will make a welcome change.
That is. Yeah,
Pep
no, he does love New York. Pep does love New York, and I'm sure he's probably trying to talk to everybody in there just because he's a good team player. Yeah, man. And Inter Miami, they've already done too much nonsense with their
that's not happening. Yeah,
like it's like to get another one, it would be just ridiculous. I don't understand how they could spend all that money. Okay. Well, shoot. Again, I'm happy. I'm here for Chicago. I am so here for Chicago all day. I would go there often. I would go there as many times. Shout out to the Chicago the Chicago Black Fire, the Black Fires. There we go. I was gonna get it right eventually. The homies there. I would go and hang out with them as often as possible to just they can't have Messi and Kev, not possible. I mean, all the other players, anything is possible, man. I don't know how that money works.
They got
in the MLS.
backdoor deals. They did it with Zlatan, so
they got them Barcelona levers that they pull.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I want to talk about this summer though. This upcoming summer. There's all this talk of big moves, big things happening. Pep is kind of being Pep is being coy because technically players are still under contract. He doesn't want to be like, yeah, big moves happening, big things happening, but everybody around him is saying, we don't know. Anything is possible. The talk about Wirtz, it's getting louder. We got teams in Bundesliga. We got teams in Serie A. Places, people like even like I love all of the names that City are being tied to. It's like a giant short list. Who are you hoping for? I feel like Wirtz is like the top of everybody's list. But do you have any like sneaky people or some like other people that maybe you want to hear more about that people aren't talking about?
Yeah, I really do want Wirtz. I know everyone's enamored with him. I do think this is the summer. You know, if not now, when we have to spend, we have to rejuvenate the squad. I do really like Ederson in Atalanta. He's like a 6'8" / forward or hybrid. This might be controversial. I think we need to get a new keeper, which is why I like Porto a lot. The Porto keeper Costa a lot.
Mm-hmm.
I know Viana is gonna actually make changes. And I hope he actually, in conjunction with Pep, actually does both things, satisfies Pep's need for established players, and then also look towards the future. And I think those three players would do wonders at City, especially next season. So,
I like that. I do like.
I don't think it's controversial about the new keeper because I think Ederson's going. I don't think Ortega's going to stay and be a number 2 because I don't think he's strong enough to be number one for us. So I think we're going to lose both of those guys, and we might end up losing Scott Carson as well. So we might need all three new keepers. That's my own personal opinion on it. Again, I obviously, what do I know? But it would not shock me at all if I would be more surprised. Well, I've been surprised before. I would be more surprised if Ederson stayed than if we lost all three.
Okay.
I would be, yeah. I don't see any way how Ederson stays. I just don't.
Yeah, I think Ederson's crossed into Grealish realms like 50-50 now. So I do think it's maybe even more abrupt. So I do think he's gonna leave. I know Viana wants to rejuvenate the squad. I know he wants to help Pep, be at his best for the last season he's here. So I do think goalkeeper will be a priority. I really want Wirtz. He's gonna be a pretty penny, but pardon the expression, but the time to put your nuts on the table is now. We need Wirtz now, not next year, not in January. Now. So I do think City's gonna get it done, but his father seems intent on him going to Bayern, so that's gonna be a pretty maybe a long drawn out battle to get him. So
Amy, I do actually really like the shout of Chevalier. Like he is a baller. I would not hate that. And he's 23, so that's plenty of age. That's a nice youthful enough to come in and do some things.
yeah, I like
Do you
Costa
think
out
that
of
Pep would trust
Porto.
Don't make me
Old
block you,
keeper
my
under
guy.
25?
I honestly, yeah. Hey, what Pep said was, I want to trust Viana. I want Viana to give me his thoughts, his output, and whoever he brings is who he brings, and I will be here and there for it. Obviously, what he says and what actually happens is two other things, but I am kind of hoping Viana shakes things up. Yes, Pep was definitely lying. He's saying whatever he needs to in front of the cameras.
Well, I mean, we hear like that's Charlie's biggest campaign platform. Like, Viana's gonna basically get all of the millennials off of the squad so that Pep has no choice but to play Gen Z players. Like, get all of the old players off of the squad.
I hear that. As a
It's
millennial,
not a bad
I
platform.
get him out of there. Get him out of here. Yo, Jake, hey, I was just talking about you and KDB to Chicago. I'm going to believe it. I'm going to dive all into it. I'm crying the millennials. Yes. Hey, people are nicely calling them the unks, but it is what it is. They're the millennials. Let's get those old guys out of here. It bees like that sometimes. Oh my gosh. Okay. I saw someone. I hate this topic because the whole our wingers aren't really doing output. We have a striker in Holland who is one of the most prolific goal scorers, but he expects the ball to basically be put directly in front of him. And maybe he's even gotten spoiled by the greatness that is KDB. We're about to lose him. There needs to be a middle ground because of the fact that, like, we see Marmouche, he's making the runs. He's learning how these other players are working, and he's making the right adjustments. He's getting in the situations to score. He also kind of has that like poacher's sense. Like he just knows where the ball is about to bounce and things like that. I'm actually very okay with. Well, I would like more wingers just so we can push Phil Foden inside. I'm tired of seeing him out wide. I don't think he has the toolbox for that. He's incredibly talented, but I think he would just fit better inside as a midfielder. Is there any wingers that have intrigued you at all?
Yeah, I really like Echeverry still. I know he's already on the roster. He's getting his burnt minutes in. I do think Pep's actually going to use him next year. I know there's all those rumors about him going on loan, but I do think he's going to be the one that actually kind of expands the team, especially with Marmouche playing the way he is. I like Marmouche a lot too. So I think Echeverry will be very key next season. I do think Pep will trust him a little more. He's not maybe at the Alvarez level, but I think he's close to that. And I saw recently Messi picked him to be one of the players that wears his shoe now. So he's getting praises from all over the world. So I do think he'll be a big part of the team next season.
I like that. I like that a lot. And he's been getting a little bit of love, not a little bit, actually a decent amount of love on social media lately. And I know we're not supposed to use that as like a gauge, but I would like to believe they're not going to show him a bunch and then ship his tail out of here. I'm looking forward to seeing him at the Club World Cup. I keep telling myself I'm not going to go to any of these games because it's all nonsense. It's all stupid. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up going to one of those games. Ugh.
We're talking about Echeverry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only issue with, so you mentioned him as a potential winger or playing him more on the outside, but as I understand it, he's more of an inside 10 type player. So what I have an issue with is when we take players who are really good in one position and we play them out of position and expect them to still perform at the same level. If we're going to put them out wide, then we got to change our expectations. And I think it's somewhat, again, we talk about, Crunk, you talked about Foden and his skill set, and we kind of force fit him out wide because he's versatile. Well, we know Foden plays best through the middle, but every time we put him out wide, we still have these high expectations. We got to change our expectations. If we're gonna shuttle him out to the wing, change your expectations. Are we gonna get the best out of Echeverry if we push him out to the wing? But to your point, there is a lot of love for Echeverry. Social media, other YouTube channels, the idea of calling him Etchy Messi, and that's put on a lot of pressure on that kid. But, if he's got that ability in it, then, God, I hope he can hit it. But, I'm just concerned about putting him out wide.
Yeah, I think Pep sees him as like a new age Bernardo, like an updated version of that. So that's why I think he'll start on the wing. Anything's possible though. I do like Foden up the middle with Echeverry on the wing, maybe Marmoush on the other one, and seeing how that can build, especially once Holland gets back. The problem is also we don't have another striker. Marmoush qualifies as that, but if you're gonna start Marmoush over some of the other guys, you're gonna need a backup striker, and that's gonna be another really difficult thing to find, especially in this market, and especially with the players that City's gonna be chasing. So that'll be an interesting thing to keep an eye on.
Yes. I love that. I miss Zaba so much. That was one of the kits that I got at the why can I not, when I was in Manchester and I went to the store, I got a Zaba shirt. I was super excited about it. Yes, Bob and Holland were working very well together. It was very fun being able to see all that in person, 2 of the games, being able to see it with the Show Bros. Paru, what's up? How's it going? Thank you for stopping by. Look at this. All these people, the comments. Hey, love this.
Get it up.
Yes, this brings us a lot of joy. Okay, sorry. We got to get you out of here. So let's get you a score prediction for this match on this weekend.
I'll go 2-1 Marmoush double. I really like him.
2-1 Marmoush double. Okay.
Yeah, that's right. Everton, they're not going to allow too many goals in this match. All right, well,
they're a tough team.
Yeah, it's going to be relatively low scoring. They're going to be tight at the back.
Okay. Please plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
Yes, guys, thank you for having me on. Bitterandblue.com. You can check out our work. Got a lot of good writers, like 4 or 5 of us now. So check us out, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Of course,
Appreciate
sir.
you, man.
You have a good rest
Thanks
of your
for
evening.
coming on.
Yep. See ya. Oh, hi, Natty. Appreciate you. Lit stream on. Appreciate you. Hey, yeah. Second, you on the second. 2-1. As long as we win, I'm tired. And we cover both City men and women. So when I say this, I'm speaking on as a club, same city, same passion. I'm tired of watching my teams struggle or lose. Like I just need some wins. And they both play Everton this weekend. So we can manage to get a 6-point weekend. I'm here for that. I'm super excited. That'd be great.
Do you remember the last time that we played? We had the same opponent in one weekend. You remember that?
Huh?
Don't bring up old stuff.
Yeah. Well, is the correct response. That's the correct response. There you go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, and even the last time City Women played Everton, that was the first Manchester derby against with Amorim. I was driving to Chicago for a Manchester derby watch along that was hosted by Man City. They had like a trophy tour in Chicago. It just was just miserable driving in the fog, watching City Women get beat down. And then I get to Chicago. I had a great breakfast and then watched the capitulation of all capitulations. It was, I hate toffee candy, toffee crunch. All toffee can be abolished. Like, hey, and I'm sure 9 out of 10 dentists would agree with you.
Listen, there are people that know. Jake knows about it. Jake, that's the Luigi Day, and that's all that needs to be said.
Oh my God. Yes, I shout out to Jake. He joined me in for the watch along, brought a little Bundesliga vibes, and he got to see how insane of a person I am to watch a match with. I am not chill at all. Like at all. Literally left him to go pace in a corner while I watched our team fall apart. Just knew it was going to happen. I needed space. Oh, is that what you want to call it? A Luigi crash out? Goodness gracious. Let's move on. Welcome on our guests for the first time. Shout out Gotham. Shout out WSL. NWSL, sorry. I was like, wait, I nailed that. I did not.
You were close.
How's it going? It's so close.
I'm good. I'm good. How are you guys? Yeah, you know.
Doing good. Glad to have you.
Yeah, it's good to be here.
Yes.
Right.
So Amoros Ball, Juan's ability to take overlooked players and turn them into league leaders, i.e. Mandy Freeman and Ella Stevens. I mean, obviously this is over my head. This is over my pay grade. I'm still learning and listening when it comes to the NWSL. Tom Baum, how do you feel about that take?
I guess my like how I would come back to that would be like say asking what like yes, and is this at the expense of some of these world class players that you traded for or played like monstrous transfer fees for in the previous offseason? Like, yes, and at what cost? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think we saw that today with the release of Cece Kaiser too. Like she's a top 10 goal scorer in the league. Before she had that kind of slow start with KC, they sent her to Houston. Houston let her go. And she's just a player. Like she's a pure forward. She's good and she learned the system, but she wasn't someone who was always tracking back, who was filling in those gaps like a Moros Ball, as we call it, kind of requires. So she is still supremely talented, but it wasn't a waste on her playing at Gotham, but it just didn't fit to the point where she was just sitting.
I think Camille did the biggest disservice to her, like trading her to Houston, like especially since Kansas City is her hometown team, and like trading her to Houston without any notice, like, and I think that's why you have clauses in the CBA talking about like every player is notified before every trade happens. Sort of.
Yeah, I think she was one of the last trades before they negotiated that.
Yeah. But I think it really kind of upended the trajectory of her career because like she went into a trash fire in Houston, and then like she was, just to your point, she wasn't the player that was going to play like Amoros Ball. Like she's not Esther at all. Like
no,
she's not even Mandy Stevens or Ella Stevens too.
I mean, that would be a great player though.
Correct.
Yeah. No, and I think like that's kind of the, good and bad that you get with Juan. He has this ability to like see what players can bring to the game, but he's not necessarily asking for the best part of their game in every moment.
I can see that. So what I know that this isn't on your on the doc, but I did want to ask you about Jalen Howe. Like,
Okay.
I think that like when she was acquired, there was some thought that like, oh, she's just gonna play the 6 because that's the position that she plays. And like, are you surprised to see her like in a more progressive box to box position, like, and it working?
Oh, absolutely not. I mean, I think we all, you know, we knew we needed kind of more like defensive help, like hold up play help, but you can never know what's going to happen. Like we've heard players in the past reference Gotham training as harder than games itself, and they get played based on what they do on the training field. So we all had our guesses about how they were going to deploy Howell. We all had kind of what we wanted to happen. But I have to say, I am pleasantly surprised with what she's been able to bring. I think it's a different side than what she's done before, which I think can only help her like national team stock rise again. And I think that's a huge thing that happens at Gotham. You get these players who can show other sides of their game, and all of a sudden you have Vlatko looking at them, you have Emma Hayes looking at them. You know, Esther just got called back into the Spanish national team for the first time, I think, since the World Cup. I think she'd only been once more since they won. So it's definitely, yeah. But back to Howell, not where we thought we would see her now.
I mean, they do call it National Team FC for a reason.
Yeah, yeah. Those international breaks, they hurt, man.
Yeah.
So you left a comment about Emma Hayes and basically her ability or her willingness to look at players that typically haven't been a part of the pool, but bringing them in and giving them looks. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, so when I wrote that, I was just kind of like thinking, connected to my other topic, you have a player like Neely Martin. She never played in the U.S. youth system, kind of, I don't know if she was recruited by Alabama or walked on, but had a quiet career at Alabama, didn't get drafted, attended an open tryout at Louisville, got in, and now, you know, she's a league champion with Gotham, a starter, a captain, and she got her first look at January camp. And I think we haven't seen a coach in the national team who really looks for those type of players. I think Hal Hirschfeld was actually the first player to ever dress for a game who had never played in the youth system, and that was last year. So I definitely think that's a positive for kind of the coaching shift we're seeing in the league, to have players that can be more visible like that, and definitely for Emma Hayes to bring that mindset in of our player pool is not constrained to who has always played in our systems.
That's what I was going to ask. I guess as a follow up, is it feels like as a parent of a kid who played the sport and being around and seeing the people who get called in early, they tend to get called in historically all the way throughout. And again, you know, you narrow it down, but it's hard to get added to that pool late. If you don't get added early, you're not getting in late. So the fact that you're willing to bring someone in that hasn't necessarily been a part of the pool up until that point is a change for, I think, U.S. Soccer, U.S. women's national team in general. But so kudos to Emma for being willing to. And my hope is that we expand our scouting in general, because we're just so big. You can't just only scout in LA, New York, you know, the big cities. It's got to be truly across the country. So
Yeah.
All this East Coast bias when we got Angel City, who's sitting above them, not by much. But hey, I know we have our own problems, but we are hopeful.
Sir.
Yes.
Do you know who we play tomorrow?
Congratulations on signing a manager. congratulations. I know,
Thank
I
you.
know it was an 81-day process. Time
Mhm.
happened. Perhaps a search firm who was employed with that Disney money. I don't know.
Mark Parsons cold calling coaches.
You have the money to take our time. There's no need to rush. We
Yes,
talking
Jake,
to the
it
right
is
people.
it is a new era for Angel.
See, he gets
It is
it.
a new era.
He gets
for
it.
Angel City.
Thank
I mean, you
for
guys
understanding.
couldn't steal a coach
It's a
off
new-
us
it's
from
a
it
new
again,
day.
so
Because it is
Whoa.
the next day.
Whoa.
Like it is the next day. It is a new era because it's the next day.
Whoa. Hey, and
All right,
also
kick him out. Kick him out. Kick him out. Kick him out.
I mean,
What?
he's
Oh well,
not
wait.
wrong.
Maybe he's
Not
talking about
wrong.
Man
Not
City
wrong.
women because we have an interim
He
manager
is.
at the moment. We got rid
He
of
is, he
one.
is. Yeah.
Okay.
He
All
And he
right.
Yeah,
is.
Nick Cushing
He
doesn't
is,
want to be
though.
there.
It's true. Yeah, he does.
I
He
mean,
does not.
Yeah, he's.
Oh
I was
my
gonna say we have an
God.
interim at this point. So I mean,
I'm a United
I-
fan, and I can
hold
see
on.
that.
Do I still have the Cushing post match? Yes, here it is.
Don't even
I
play
mean,
it.
he's
Don't
right.
even play it. Don't even
No,
play
he sounds so annoyed. I'll just play like a few seconds. This man sounds annoyed.
Yeah, we have to show more desire. We have to show more fight. We have to show more spirit in the first parts of the game. You know, it's an FA Cup semi-final. You're going to be put under pressure. You're going to have to absorb that pressure, and you're going to have to get through it. And we didn't. You know, we didn't really show the fighting spirit we needed in the first parts of the game.
He's been here for 3 weeks, bro. 3 weeks. It's been like a month, but like he already sounds like somebody who is like, "Get me out of here." And honestly,
not.
once you out of here, bye. I'm so over this season. Anyway, we're supposed to be talking about Angel City and the fact that we're about to beat down Gotham tomorrow.
Oh no.
Huh?
No way.
No?
No. 2-1 Gotham.
Oh. So strong in your wrongness.
Is
I
it-
love it though.
Is
Good
it
for
at,
you.
Is it at BMO? Is it at BMO or is it at Sports Illustrated Stadium?
It's at BMO.
It's not at Red Bull Arena.
Thank you. Okay.
She said she's not changing the name. She said
No.
his
Well,
mama
what
called
it
him. That's what I'm gonna call
Mama
him.
call him Red Bull Arena. I'm gonna call him Red Bull Arena.
Exactly. We ain't changing it up.
No,
That's funny.
absolutely not.
That was Man City Women's very annoyed manager, Nick Cushing. Oh my God. The only thing with no fight is his hair follicles. Oh my God, Daniel. Oh my, relax. I love this. This is a live stream, baby. We out here. But okay, so back to my question. How many goals is Angel City gonna win by tomorrow?
None.
Oh,
You can give negative numbers.
You
I
think
don't know.
Emily Sonnet is going to let Macy Hodge score a goal?
Macy Hodge. We don't have to worry about that. We got Tiernan. We got the Thompson and Thompson.
I don't want to talk about Tiernan. That one hurts, man. That one hurts.
Jersey
They were
standing
a
up.
family.
Yes,
I mean, I
love
think
it.
she's a good fit there, but man, that one stung.
Yeah, she's a baller. I'm still very new to this. I'm learning a lot, but I really do enjoy her energy. She seems to be just embracing the fact that she's playing, she's starting. You know, it's that like act like you've been there, and she definitely is acting like she's been there. She hasn't seen a shot she doesn't like, and I like that energy.
Yeah, I think it definitely helps when your big sister kind of went through the mud of the NWSL.
That's fair. That's very fair. I hear you. I don't appreciate this. I got my show bros
Yes,
not
Daddy.
supporting me, and now we got the
I
chat
don't have no
outnumbering
Angel
me.
City. I don't have no Angel City scarf up on my wall.
Fighting
You on
all
your
by
own, bro.
myself.
I don't know
Listen,
what to tell
AC
you.
was built on what they stole from Gotham.
You
Very
correct.
That's fair.
Correct.
That's fair.
Oh my God! You know what this is? Thank you. There's gonna be like 50% of the chat that gets this. This is like deltas and AKAs. And if you know, you know.
Why are you being messy?
Okay.
Why
Yeah,
are you
he
being
is
messy?
being
That was the mess. That was the messy
he
thing
is.
said so far today.
Yo, if that's Danny from the LB streams, that dude is like a football savant. He knows if you ask him a question, he's gonna know the answer to it. So you might be able to stump him with some women's soccer stuff. So we'll see. But that dude is like a walk. You can ask him about any academy player. You can ask him about any academy player across the world. He's gonna know about him. Dude is like, he's a savant, man. I'm telling you, dude is crazy. Big ups, Danny. Glad to have you in the stream, bro.
Hey, Danny, reach out. I'd love to bring you on the pod sometime.
You know what? But where's an interview?
No, we don't. Amazing humans, amazing assistants.
Amazing assistance is crazy.
Yeah, I get to see her every week at CPKC Stadium. It's great.
We've had this conversation a lot among Cloud9. Before Juan Carlos, we had so many coaches that got promoted from assistant jobs that were really great people that we loved, but they were just not head coaches. And we felt bad ragging on them, but they were just not meant for that job, and it kind of sucked.
I think
That's life. You
just,
had to know the
goes-
difference between. Oh, go ahead, Tom.
I was just gonna say, I think that just goes to a larger conversation in WOSO about not being able to identify candidates appropriately, because I don't think that most clubs in the world realize how different and the same hiring a manager for your women's side is, and especially if you have two sides to your club, and I think even if you are just focused on the women's football part of it, I don't think that some of those organizations don't have clearly enough defined qualities in this is what a coach is and this is what we want in a coach. It doesn't necessarily have to be the tactics, but how they approach the game needs to be consistent.
Yeah.
That's fair. Well, before we get you out of here, we've already talked about what you think the game tomorrow is happening, whether it makes sense or not. But how do you think the season's going to go after they were the champs very recently? Do you feel like they can hit similar heights?
Yeah, I mean, the way Gotham plays, and kind of going back to where we started, Juan Carlos's style, they started off really slow. And if you look back at the past 2 seasons, now 3, the beginning of the season is full of draws. Not always losses, but mostly ties. They peak in about late July, August. And that's when everything starts clicking. Everyone's running in the system, working out well. And then they just kill it. And I think we're going to see that again this year, especially now we got Midge back. I think that was if we had Midge last year, I think we beat Spirit in the semifinal. I really do. Mm-hmm. I think she's kind of got that grit, got that dog in her that would have just we would have beaten the Spirit in the regular season if we had Midge last year. It's a big missing piece. And I think we'll go back to the playoffs. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I love that. Well, please plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
Absolutely. I am at Marge, OH Marge on Blue Sky on the other app if you're still there. And you can find me at every Gotham home game, leading section 101 with Cloud9. Just look for the little mini fool jumping around on the stand. I'm usually with Maddie. I know they're lurking in here. And yeah, come to a game. Come hang out with us. Be a good time.
Love it. Love it. So thank you for coming on and joining us.
Yeah,
Can't wait to have you on again. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Have a good night.
Thanks, you too.
Appreciate it.
Oh man. Wowie. Okay, let's go. Time to get the Shay in. The family. Sylvs. Hi, hello. How's it going? Hold on.
What's up, everybody?
Let's go.
Hi. It's a little lighter blue than I'm used to, but that's fine.
You're still with family, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's bad enough y'all broke us. You don't have to just rub that shit in our face.
On a serious note, though, I'm really sad about Mary Fowler, dude. She's one of my favorite footballers to watch.
That was tough to read the other day. We've had so many injuries that it's just like
Y'all
just
have,
one
man.
more.
That's rough.
It's like this is devastating.
I want y'all to be good so that it's an even matchup. I actually really like when Chelsea and City play. So,
And
It
y'all
is
just
hopefully
got
next year.
everybody. It's hard to have an even matchup with y'all. Y'all got all the players.
Not yet.
She said there's still a couple we got our eyes on.
Not yet.
See, that's why everybody says that's the greed that the Bible talks about. Like y'all gonna flood us.
Yeah.
Chelsea themselves is gonna be the reason why we need another arc. And I cannot.
Brother, we were starting Ramona Bachman and Beth England at one time. I'm okay with greed right now. No shade, but like, yeah.
Oh, that's fair. That's fair. Where should we start? Oh God, Chelsea versus Barca. That's actually a great place to start because I was focusing a lot of my hate towards Arsenal, and you helped me open my eyes. And you're just like, hey, there's plenty of hate to go around. Chelsea and Barca are playing each other, and I was like, you right. How are you feeling about this matchup
on Easter Sunday?
That's crazy.
Right. I'm like, man, that's in between services.
On 420 at that.
420 Easter Sunday in between sunrise and regular service. Thanks, England. Or no, thanks, Spain, I guess. How am I feeling? What I feel and what I'm willing to say out loud are two different things.
Run. Boo, this is the lit stream.
No, I respect it.
I still feel like we should have won last season. I genuinely think we were the better team. And I do think if we have Myra, we probably win that game. And also, listen, I think she's a sublimely talented player. I really do. But if I saw Bonmati on the street, I'd square up and I'd win because she can't play. She's a whiner. It happens.
She said VA all day, 2 up, 2 down.
Like what she did to Buchanan makes me real uncomfortable. But all right. Yeah, so I think we have the players. That midfield on its day is really good. On not its day is makes me a little nervous. But I do think, listen, we got a little more time off than Barca did. We get the second leg at home, which I think is a really big deal for us. We haven't had that in the past. And Myra is, to my knowledge, she had a knock in Colombian camp and so came home early. And so she will be healthy at least for this first leg. And I have seen the Barcelona defense this year. Did Bunny start when y'all played them in that first leg?
Nope. She hasn't played for a while. And I was looking forward to, I got the tickets and everything way before those injuries hit. But at least I got to see Mary Fowler. I specifically got to see Mary Fowler and Kirsten Kasper be best buddies together. They
true.
Like when they ran out on the pitch to run the drills, those two, and I don't remember who, there was a third who joined them, but those two ran out first with each other and just passed around each other while everybody else was running drills. So that was a positive, and I got to see Carolyn play in person. I got to see her and meet my ball out.
Also one of my favorite players.
That was great.
Y'all have a lot of likable players, but I can't.
We do. Hey, that's funny. We were saying that. Well, yeah, specifically like when US WNT plays, like being able to see Katarina Macario and then Tullis Joyce doing their thing. It's like these are players that I very much love, and I can actually root for them now. When like next week I have to boo them.
That's very fair. Yeah, I feel okay. I have a lot of feelings about Sonia, but also we haven't lost in the league.
You mean your terrorist manager?
Oh my God, football terrorist. Absolutely. Free not Charlie Baltimore, man. Like
Sonia Simeone.
He deserves to play up top. That's why I called Sandy Baltimore, because I couldn't remember her name when I first found out about her. So I was like, that's not Charlie Baltimore and stuff. And that's a very old reference for like people under 28. But yeah, I get it, because she wants her on the pitch, and you can see why she wants her on the pitch. She's kind of a got to start, and we don't have a whole lot of places to put people. I am excited as well, because we have, I call her running guru writing. When the lights are brightest, she balls. And then, of course, fingers crossed, I've been told it's a go. Or, well, they haven't done the presser yet, so I should probably wait till tomorrow. But we're supposed to get Naomi back.
Oh. And she's like 100% healthy, not like on the fringe.
I would think so. I think that's why they're being cautious.
I would hope so.
Is this how Sonya frees not Charlie Baltimore by putting Naomi Gurma at left back?
Never again. I will.
She said, "I'll catch a flight. I will catch a flight."
I hated every minute of that. I hated it.
It was wild. It was
we
wild.
We did not spend $1 million for her to play left back. That's not.
I mean, technically they did though. Like they spent the money. She played left back. So
in my heart, all I know is next year it will be Buchanan and Gurma.
Shirley Chisholm, Ebony.
Very low.
Ebony.
There's it's a real inside joke on that.
That's a deep cut. That's a deep cut.
Deep cut inside joke.
Man. All right. But yeah, so all of that to say, I feel good. I don't think my nerves will be settled on Redemption Sunday. Yeah, I'm from the South, dude. It's Redemption Sunday, not Easter Sunday. I'm sorry, Resurrection Sunday. My gosh. Redemption is on my mind for Chelsea. Sorry, Resurrection Sunday. Yeah, I think we'll play a little bit tighter away. But they're not at Camp Nou, right? They're still in the Olympic Stadium.
They're still at Young Crunch.
Okay. Yeah, I think we can get at that back line. That's my general feeling on that. I saw Real Madrid do it, so.
Is Mapi Leon suspended for this match, or will she be back?
I think it's this match, yeah. I think she'll come back for the second leg.
Okay.
Because I don't know I'm assuming it's all matches, so it's just they had a midweek like cup match maybe, and then it'll be this match. So that's another one, and yeah, she's probably their best defender at this point. But also, she should be suspended for a lot more than 2 games. But that's she literally hit a grab him by the pussy, like literally.
This Chelsea versus Barca match, it's hitting me the same way with the Champions League, the men's Champions League, Arsenal versus Real Madrid, where it's truly just like, I really don't like either team, but it's just like, I'm here to hate both sides, and whoever loses the most embarrassing, that will bring me joy. But I will say, low-key, I am rooting for Chelsea. I am rooting for Chelsea. You won too much, but I'm over Barca.
I am also over. I am so over Barca. Like, full disclosure, I'm a Madrid girl. And so I was at the Champions League final last year in a sea full of Barcelona fans. And I had to sit there in person. And the whole time, all I could think should have been Chelsea. So I feel like I deserve this. I don't know if they deserve this, but I deserve this. And so I would really like them to win. Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Where upon PSG, my guy. Also a sore spot because we chose Poch over Enrique, but that's another conversation for another day. Bad front office. All right, sorry. But yeah, so I mean, I think it'll be a good match, and I think we nip it in the second leg. I think we go into that second leg tied, going to the bridge.
Who do you play?
Lauren James game winner. Lauren James. I'm calling it.
Ooh, I'd like that.
Who do you play in the midweek between the 2 legs?
Crystal Palace.
Oh,
Yeah, so like we also have. I mean, we've given away some of our cushion, but we should have enough cushion to like kind of worry about the league after the second leg, regardless. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
not a guarantee, but kind of feel like we have a good plan going into that. And then obviously we'll have the FA Cup again. Also tired of playing United in the FA Cup. Also, don't know if we're going to score against Fallon, so we'll see how that goes.
I know their defense. They're playing some really good football.
I am a Fallon Tullis Joyce truther from way back. I'm a Seattle Reign fan, and she was our keeper. So I actually got to know her. I got to do some interviews, some pressers with her. So I've been on that bandwagon since like 2022.
I'm gonna just keep this up here close because we've mentioned her name so much in the last 2-3 weeks. She's probably been mentioned like 4 or 5 times.
Easily.
I should just post him up right here so she gets all her love and the U gets their love when we talk about her.
Oh, the U. She is a graduate of the U. Yeah, she's just one of the better people in the sport. And she also happens to be incredibly talented and yes, quiet. I have a lot of feelings about that statement too, but maybe that's a mind game thing. Using the media to sort of do that. Quiet, but very sure of herself and clearly wants it. Clearly wants that number 1 spot. Like that lady loves the ocean. Is there an ocean in Manchester? I've been and I didn't see one. So yeah, she gave up all the other things she loves to be the number 1.
She birds now. She's a birder.
Gave up the ocean and sat behind Mary Earps for a year. Like, I think she wants it.
That part.
I think she wants it. So I would just not.
Okay.
Just missing her because she plays for Mark Skinner is a pretty wild way to go about your life.
Okay, perfect. So what is that kind of where you're feeling about what Emma had to say about him?
Yeah, I don't think she likes him. Or I don't not like him. I don't know if she has any personal issues with Mark Skinner. But I don't think she particularly loves that direct style booted. Now, to be fair to Mark Skinner, he played that way at Orlando too. Like, and there was a while there when Orlando was like a top 3 team. That's when they were just like, F it, Sid LaRue up there somewhere, and it worked. So he's consistent.
Not gonna say that. That's why she blocked me. Never mind.
Sorry.
You got blocked by Sid LaRue?
Yeah, when she was in Orlando.
We got to talk about this. I didn't hear this story when this is over with. When we get off the stream and nobody's around, I need to hear this story.
You know what? I will own this L publicly on this live stream. I will go ahead and say it. So I was watching a Sporting Kansas City season opener, and they played Atlanta United. And it was after Joseph had left, but not long after, and Dom Dwyer was on their team, and I think I tweeted something like, "Oh, of course, Mr. Sidney LaRue is going to whoop our ass," and I was unaware that they had gotten a divorce.
Oh no!
And he scored the game-winning goal.
Oh no!
I need you to see Danny with this. He scored the second that day. Danny, I'm telling you, this dude is insane. How he knows all this stuff.
Wow.
I don't understand it. It's crazy.
Wow.
But wow, that's a man. I got a special place in my heart for Sidney LaRue because, again, with my kid coming up, when she was trying to play and I was trying to introduce her to the U.S. women's national team, there weren't any other players that looked like her on the team. So it was like, this is Sidney LaRue. Yeah, she might be from Canada and all this other stuff, but she's a black player, black woman that's out there, and I want my kid to be able to at least look up to somebody. And that was the only person that was on the team at the time. Now we've gone completely the other way, and there's plenty of people that you can look up to now. But when at that time, 7, 8, 9 years ago, maybe even more than that, she was the only one. So I got a special place in my heart for her.
Yeah, that's the refrain about Sid in general. I mean, that's what Kobe, that's how they became friends. He wrote her and said, "Hey, my daughter doesn't even play soccer, but she sees you. Can I meet you?" can she meet you? And they, have formed this decades-long friendship with the family, obviously. And obviously Gigi were number 2 because of Sydney Lewis. So, I'm certainly a believer that representation isn't the only thing, though I think now, I think that's a little more prevalent, but I believe it absolutely matters. If you can see it, you can be it, to be to be very cheesy. And so I think that's awesome. And but Skinner does play a direct style of football. I remember coaches in the NWSL, one who is no longer coaching, and nor should he be, complaining about that because they beat that team, right? And so, I think he's been consistent. And listen, that style's not for everyone, but they're in 3rd.
And most importantly about this conversation, to bring it back to USWNT, based off of the player pool that is in front of you, like, wouldn't you just want to play direct? Like, I'm sorry, like, I'm a Kansas City Chiefs fan. I lived in the era where there was Patrick Mahomes like cocking back and saying, "Fuck it, Tyreek down there somewhere." So like that, should that not be the offensive game plan all of the time?
Yeah. So I get on principle wanting to have more than one way to win. I get on principle that it's 2025 and that you are in a position where you can have this build out style of play. I think it is a necessary part of the game. I think it should be used sparingly unless you have the team to do it. One, on a national team, you get them every 6 weeks and not all the time throughout the year, right? Like there's a break. So that's one. So you have less time to do that. So unless their club team plays that way, and Utah, it's not advantageous to use that limited amount of time to try to do that. Two, particularly against a Brazilian team that presses the way they do and hits the way they do, because I was in LA, that game was real crunchy. It's real crunchy. Second game was worse, but that was a crunchy game. I just think that frenetic pace doesn't allow to play out of the back that way, right? And what I thought Fallon did well, because she did it for a few, different plays, but being able to read the game and being like, okay, I need to boot it. Like it needs to be out of pressure. Like I want a goalkeeper that can read the game, that is trusted by her players and her defense. And if you saw that, I know this is painful for y'all, but that double save against y'all and that roar she let out after would run through a wall for that woman.
We were doing so good. We were doing so good.
Sorry. I'm sorry. But that was insane.
It was.
Like that. And I've never heard her yell on the pitch like that before. Almost like she internalized everything and she said, now what? I think she's the only keeper that's come and grabbed it, right? I don't think the other keepers in the pool have grabbed that spot or at least put themselves ahead. Clean sheets always help. And to me, the ultimate job of the goalkeeper is to what? Keep the ball out of the back of the net. She's very good at that. She has conceded the fewest goals in the league. Her save rate's pretty absurd. And I don't know about the U.S. defense, but the United defense seems to trust her, and she's got maybe the best right back in the league right now. And Jade, certainly one of them. I
think she's got the 2 best outside backs in the league.
General, right? Like that back line. Listen, I would punt my Letitia to the moon, but
1,000%. She tried to concuss. She tried to concuss Carolyn. I was hot. I was hot. I was hot on that watch along. Be like, oh.
But that back line is incredibly solid because they trust their keeper, right? I'll play this game with you because I'm looking at your scarves, and I know y'all are talking about the game tomorrow, which I'll be covering. But like part of why I think Angel City's better is because they trust their goalkeeper now. Football's not that complicated. United trust their goalkeeper. It's a lot easier to play defense when you know your keeper's not going to concede. It's been that way since football existed. So I obviously you have to find more than one keeper, but yeah, that's But that's it. And she plays into that system well. But yeah, she's going to have to learn a different way, and that's fine. But I don't think the trade-off of playing out of the back is worth not making Fallon your number one.
Don't play out the back.
Tomorrow.
Bro, listen, keep playing out the back because we keep selling T-shirts. So it's good for business. Because y'all are torturing your fans by doing this. And it's multiple teams and multiple markets, man.
Man, in those fans.
That Dutch guy, it's a kink at this point. I can't explain it other than that. That is.
Yeah.
So tomorrow marks start of match week 5 for NWSL. Give us one or two like wild, way too early predictions for the league.
For the week or for the season?
For the season. For the league.
All right. Very wild prediction. The top 4 now will be the top 4 at the end of the season.
Oh, okay. So if people are wondering,
that only surprises me on spot number 4, but okay.
So just quickly, that is Orlando Pride, KC Current, Washington Spirit, and Angel City FC. Let's go.
I will say this. And I'm not just saying this because Tom's here. I'd flip Kansas City and Orlando.
Okay.
I would flip Kansas City and Orlando. But outside of that, I feel good about that. Yes. Here's my argument. I didn't say y'all wouldn't make the playoffs, Marge. But I'm just saying top 4. I think it's a combination. One, serious with Disney money scares me. Y'all, when's the last time you saw Disney lose?
Well, they sold that.
Like, I'm saying that as a fan of another team.
That hockey team in Orange County once they started losing.
Okay.
Listen, they sold them. They sold the Angels.
They did. I don't think it's the same ownership exactly, but yes. But recently, they ain't losing too much. I think most of the teams that will make it have a superstar. And I think they got the next one. That's kind of where I fall on that, right? Like, you have a Rodman, you've had a Wilson. Now, carry a team, like, for all of the tactical adjustments, and I do think it takes teams to win. I'm like, having a superstar saves you. And a goal-scoring superstar at that. Unless you have, like, Naomi Garma back there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, scoring goals is how until the rules change, where scoring one more goal than the other team is not how you win. Your superstars are going to be your goal scorer. That's who gets paid. Because scoring goals is not as easy as you think it is. Sorry, I live by a firehouse. But yeah, so I think there's that. And I did this in my predictions. I do think that the late end of the season will be a lot more topsy-turvy. I think, with the post-tournament movement of players, both from Europe, African nations, and South American nations. And, like, looking at the schedule, Copa runs through the beginning of the second half of the season. So, like, if you've got Brazilians, Colombians, Venezuelans, players of that nature. If you have players from the African continent coming back, players from the European continent coming back, if you have multiples of those on your squad, I think it's going to take you a bit longer to adjust once we come back for break than teams that maybe don't have those players. And so just looking at that, I think part of why there's a few teams that don't really have those players. And so maybe that's going to be an advantage for them or have international players who don't have tournaments this year. So that's the kind of trend stuff I look at. I'm not necessarily an analytics person, but I like patterns and trends. It's a social scientist in me. So that's one prediction. I'm trying to go wild.
Like that.
I don't have anything too wild. Sure. They're not my favorite team, but I think San Diego will make the playoffs.
I don't think they're good.
I don't either, but I don't think anybody else is great. I think there are 3 teams I'm sure about. I think there's tier 1A, and then spots 4 through like 12 are up for grabs. That's what I think. Like I don't think there's a clear top 4. I think there's a clear top 3.
I would agree with that. I would agree with that.
And so in my mind, I'm just like, why not whatever order it is now? I think that's more of my. I can make an argument for several other teams, including my own. But yeah, I don't know. I trust year 3 if you can hit your next level, right? It's what Trinity did, basically what Sophia did, because the COVID year is funky. Like stars or young players that can hit that next level, which that's what Alyssa Thompson's definitely doing right now. I think elevates a team to a point where they can be in that conversation, even if I don't think they're going to win, because I don't think anybody's beating Kansas City or Orlando consistently to be able
the courage.
to
What?
Listen, I went on.
Throw that man out your life. Throw that man out your life.
4th or 5th place team. They're letting me down. They're letting me down. Why are you wasting Jaden Shaw?
And Ashley Sanchez.
What are we doing?
And Monica Matsubo. What are you doing?
Right. Y'all went and got like 3 different Japanese players.
For Tyler Lucy. For Tyler Lucy.
Don't do that to her. Don't do that to her.
Sorry.
You are. I really respect for North Carolina. They're such a consistent organization, even if I don't root for them per se. But like, yeah, it's just been a disappointing start to the year. I think Utah's been another, like, that was a really sexy pick. Now, to be fair, they have a lot of injury, including to Tanaka, who I think is one of the better players in the league when she's healthy. And so it's going to take them a while, but also the insistence to play out of the bat the way that they do at all costs against Kansas City. What are you doing?
Well, I thought Kate Del Fava was in hell. Just
she said, get me off this team. This man is out of his mind. So that I think there's a few teams, like I think my team is one. I think we're probably missing a few pieces, but there's something there. I actually think we played well against Orlando. Laura still got some tricks up her sleeve, so I think if we can get a few pieces.
How much of that is because like Lynn was actually like available for 45 minutes?
Oh God, so much.
Okay.
So much. She's a threat. Like, speaking of having a goal scorer, a sure goal scorer, she's always a threat. People defend you differently when you score goals.
The league all time in goal scoring.
Right. And so, and you still have speed and you are still strong. And she's maybe, I'd argue, yes, the best defending forward. Certainly in the league, if not globally. And so that just, she's talked about it too. This is the first time in a very, very long time we've had a forward that can stretch a defense, who can get in behind. And then you add Minnesota JRK, who can't shoot, can't hit water, but she also helps stretch defenses with that speed. Are you asking me who it is? Maddie Dalian.
I'm sorry. What?
Maddie Dalian, who's one of our rookies. She's from UNC. But I call her Minnesota JRK because they do a lot of the same things, including not scoring. Like, bless their heart.
Including poor shot selection.
Yeah, and it's just like the Patrick Ewing, when have you shot that shot moment.
Devin, this is redundant. It's Utah.
You seen that? You seen what that sponsor says on? Not only does it say it on their kits, it says it on their stadium. And I'll just let y'all.
The whole stadium's called that.
I don't think Google it's if you would like.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I don't think most NWSL teams are equipped to play out of the bat because you don't have a lot of ball playing center back. So like I think that's dodgy. And I feel bad because you can tell it's killing like Mandy Midland's confidence, right? Like she's off. I think Jane Camp, like all the other keepers look like they were seeing ghosts this past match week. Like it's a very interesting maybe phenomenon, and maybe it's a short sample size and everybody will bounce back this week. But yeah, it is shaking the confidence of keepers because you still have a generation. I think now the younger keepers play with their feet, but that's not what people were taught. And so, yeah, you don't want a keeper's confidence to be shot, but if you're going to keep giving it away and giving your opposition easy chances, they're going to score goals. Utah's conceded a lot, right? Like they got to figure that out. And teams who are going to be insistent on doing that have to figure it out. Again, I get it. I get the build up with the extra player, being your goalkeeper, but you've got to, risk reward that.
Wow.
But yeah, those are sort of my wild predictions. And I think all but like one of the MVP candidates will be 25 or under.
Okay.
It's a youth movement, baby.
Okay. I like that.
I
want you to be our third and final, especially since you said you're going to be covering the match tomorrow.
Okay.
Obviously, you know who I picked, and we know who Marge picked. So, who do you think tomorrow is going to win between Angel City and Gotham FC?
Neither. I think it's a draw.
Oh.
No, I sincerely think it's a draw. I think one of those teams will outplay the other, but football.
That's fair. That's very fair. Honestly.
Yeah. I know AKB can't come off her line like that this week, though.
It'll be a 2-2
don't
draw.
Do that against 21.
It'll be a 2-2 draw, and it will be like something crazy that AKB did against 21 to like seal the match.
First of all, don't boo me. I'm right.
No draws. Yeah, no draws. Pick a side.
No, that is exactly what.
A draw is an option. Wait a minute. A draw is an option. I was gonna say 1-1.
Dang, so it's gonna be a boring draw. At least you could at least said like 2-2 or something like both.
Sometimes 1-1s are fun. Okay, if you're gonna make me pick. 2-1 Angel City, new manager bounce.
Let's go.
Is he supposed to be managing?
No, but I don't. Does it work if you're
the announcement is out?
You like it doesn't work if they're okay, fine.
Don't
I'm
you
sticking
change?
with the draw. I don't like being forced.
Okay.
Oh, you suck.
Don't boo vote.
I also
Sorry.
say that with I also continue with I love you, of course.
No, I feel good about the draw, but maybe I'll go Tom's 2-2. At least it's a fun draw.
Yes, virtually. I like that. Oh my gosh. Okay, well, please plug yourself.
Hold on.
It is just one game. There's yeah, sure.
Before you get her out of here, so Ebony had left a comment a couple minutes ago. Now, this is not anything negative, but it just said to talk about your connection with Tom and his growth within soccer journalism and what so.
Like that.
I want to make sure that my brother gets his his flowers because I'm super impressed with this dude, and so I just wanted to give you a chance to and to respond to Ebony's comment.
Yes. So Tom has many jobs these days, and we're really fortunate and blessed that one of those is with Shea Butter. So he covers the Kansas City Current for us, and he is the mayor of CPKC Stadium. Do not let him tell you differently. And he is diligent. He shows up for every match. He showed up for those Women's Cup matches. He showed up for Jamaica versus Mexico. Tom genuinely loves that. Yep. Loves that team, loves women's soccer, loves the community. And it has been amazing to watch him grow, to tell him he's good enough because he is. And maybe my favorite person to do press conferences with because you ask some of the best questions. And you're so insightful and your perspective is so unique and needed, I think, particularly as a man in this space. And you're always very thoughtful, in terms of how you're walking into the women's soccer space, not trying to take up, space, trying to make sure you amplify. But I still think your voice is very needed. And You were the first guy we've had on the Shea Butter team. So I think that speaks to what your growth has been and what you mean to us and what you mean to women's soccer. And your live coverage, live skating now, I guess. Yeah, you've just absolutely made our show and all of our work better. And it was so great to be able to hang out with you and be in your city during championship weekend. And hopefully we'll get back to Kansas City during the season so we can hang out again. Hopefully it's not too hot, maybe in the fall. I'm not gonna lie to you.
And we can go back to the Negro League Baseball Museum too.
Oh
yeah, I got to get down there and visit.
Heaven.
I'm gonna say, obviously, like Tarek said, like seeing Tom Baum do his thing, like hearing you say things like I'm like, oh,
I'm straight, literally getting a little teary eyed. I mean, it's like because I really respect what this dude is doing, and going back to when we all just kind of started this as strangers, we just wanted to talk about the sport, talk about our club, and both sides of the house. And so to see how the spaces that he's been able to go into and the impact that he's been able to have, the growth that he's exhibited, it's amazing to see. And I'm really, really proud of my little brother. So, that's dope.
Yeah. Literally,
absolutely.
there would not be
Tom, I know
baby blue baddies.
You're about to say something, but in addition to saying that about Tom, I also just wanted to say this about you all as well. I remember roughly when Shades of Blue started several years ago, and just to see what you all have been able to do, what you've poured into the community, to people who look like you and into your club, right? The pushback that you faced from your own fans and from other parts of the internet or society or whatever, and really persevering and really starting this whole network. Watching Black men in particular do that in this space has been nothing short of amazing. And so to all of you who I have the pleasure of knowing, I just wanted to say, keep doing the damn thing. Y'all are rocking it.
Really do appreciate it.
All right, I'm done.
We love you, Tom.
I'll say
I can't think of a better group of people to do things like this with. And we don't always do the best job of saying that we are grateful for the things that we are grateful for. And so I want to let everyone in the chat, everyone who's watching, and especially everyone who's on the screen, let all you people know how much I appreciate and how much you all mean to me. This being able to do some of the things that I have done has been some of the greatest experiences of my life. And I know that being able to do this has gotten me through some very low points in my life too. And I am so grateful for the highs and the lows and the everything in between, because I can't imagine doing it with any other people than the people that are right here in our community, whether they're here with us tonight in the chat, on the screen, in the audience, whether they listen back, people who we shared the screen with before. Like, so grateful to build the space of football and uniquely tell our story within it.
Yeah, man. I love it. Well said. Yeah, it's like truly, I still remember the chat that I had with Tom. Like once he said Man City Women that he loves Woso, I was like, let's go. And to be able to have someone help us out and point us in the right direction and help us point us right. And then naturally, I always talk about being able to hang out with Shea Butter FC during the Women's World Cup and being able to watch that and learn. And I completely changed my sleepy schedule for that Women's World Cup. And that experience was super fun. And just to be able to be where we are now, I just wanted to be able to talk football with some cool people. And it is insane to be able to call the people like y'all, friends, peers, and things like that. It's so thankful. Yeah. Look at all this Black vulnerability. Love this.
I know, right?
Hey, we need to tell each other more than ever now. So
We used our therapy words and everything. Gratefulness,
we
mindfulness.
did. Look at us. Look at us. Paul Rudd meme. Look at us. Who'd have thought?
well, Sylvs, please plug yourself. Let people know where they can find you and the things that you do.
Sure. I am on most social media platforms, mostly on Blue Sky. I think I'm just at Southern Sylvs. You can find me there. On Instagram as well. If you can't find me, just go to the Shea Butter account there. I'm probably tagged in something. And then obviously Shea Butter is on all socials. Shea Butter FC. Sorry. My manager's yelling at me. Instagram, Blue Sky. I don't believe we're on the artist formerly known as Twitter anymore. I think there's a TikTok. I think there's a bunch of stuff. I'm not the tech expert. Ebony, you can leave those comments for the people. But if you go to any of Shea Butter social media, you can follow all of our Linktree links there. You can obviously listen to the podcast on any platforms. And then, yes, we have a weekly newsletter. I have to finish editing tonight so we can drop tomorrow. But yeah, just giving a little bit more insight into the game and black players in women's football. So yeah.
Love it. Yeah. They do such great work.
Okay.
I'm going to say we are slowly but surely trying to put our foot in the whole writing world. It is a lot. It's a scary step in that direction.
You got a really good one in Tom there. So
I know. Yes, thank you.
And
the
Tom,
current moment.
Yeah, plugging your podcast, the current moment, sir.
Second episode should be out soon.
Hey.
Sylvs was actually my guest.
yeah, we got to chop it up, so it's really good.
Love it. Well, truly, thank you for coming on. Thought we were done with the vulnerability. So honestly, getting your support and you acknowledging me, it means way more than you'll ever know, because I see you as a most dope person, and I'm not even gonna lie, I low-key thought I'm sure you were just like sitting back and watching, but I was like, I don't think Sylvs likes me. Like that's how I felt for a while. So the fact, and I know I'm wrong. Like I know you're just like sitting back and watching. You're busy. Like that's how people are. It took me a while to like learn how people move and things like that. And like I'm eternally thankful for the chat and being a part of that, because that's a whole other level of steps that I've been able to like learn and everything. So like just ignore me, but I just want to say that like I really do appreciate you for who you are and what you do. So that's just like me, a separate thing.
I really appreciate that. I try to speak into people. Like you're talented and you're doing good work, and I just want to make sure you know that.
Thank you very much. All right, friend, you have a good rest of your night.
I will, gentlemen. You do the same.
Yes.
See ya. Oh man, what a great show. Thank you to Saul, Marge, and Sylvs. Next week, we got Justin Horniker in. We got Jake, the buddy, and Roberto Rojas. So some fun. Again, if y'all don't know what we do on the list stream, variety, the chats bounce around, the leagues bounce around, and obviously we have a little bit of fun. Sometimes we're serious, sometimes we're very unserious, and sometimes we're vulnerable. So like tap into us. I think we do some cool things here. My show bros, Town Bomb Terry, thank you for joining us and hanging out with us. See you all very soon.
Absolutely.
Have a good rest of your night. You know the vibes. Shady gang, shady gang, shady.